Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Visions of Cups. So we are here with another pick a card again. This is going to be another stack reading. My cats are making noise and I apologize. We have 5 stacks and this is to find out all about your soulmate, what they've gone through, what they're like, and things such as that. The tarot cards have already been pre-pulled, but these cards will be pulled live for each different stack. If you see any shadows, apologies, my light is right above me and it's creating weird shadows, and my microphone is this lovely dark space you see right here. It's the shadow of my microphone. So we have stack number 1, stack number 2, stack number 3, stack number 4, and stack number 5. So go ahead, take a moment, take a deep breath, and pick whichever one calls to you the most, and then we will get into it. I will be time-stamping each different stack to make it easier for everyone. I neglected to do that in the first video and I do apologize, but we will be doing it for this one. So again, please go ahead and take a moment, take a deep breath, choose whichever one calls to you the most. Again, this is stack number 1, stack number 2, stack number 3, stack number 4, and stack number 5. And again, we'll be utilizing the Romance Angels cards and the French Vintage Stamp Love Oracle. I always get really tongue-tied when I say that one. And again, apologies for any little noises my kittens are playing. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to do stack number 1 first. So stack number 1, you are up. Okay, so stack number 1, let's go ahead and see what we got going here. So we have the King of Swords, the Star, Death in reverse, Page of Pentacles in reverse, Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the Lovers, and the Fool in reverse. Let's try to get all these onto the screen as neatly as we can. So, what I'm really... Ooh, this is like super uneven. Forgive the mess. So with the King of Swords, and it also being next to the Star, I'm really getting an air sign, and probably an Aquarius, because the Star is the tarot card for the Aquarius, and the fact that's next to the King of Swords is a really strong indication to me that this person that you're dealing with, who is destined to be your soulmate, is more than likely at least going to be an air sign, but probably an Aquarius. But the King of Swords. So, I'm getting that he or she could be someone who's in the military, someone who's involved with the police, or potentially even a lawyer. This is someone who's very studious, and, you know, air signs tend to deal with the mind a lot and thinking. So it wouldn't shock me, again, if they're a lawyer or in the military. Something like that, something that has a lot of structure and things of that nature. But they also have a lot of integrity and morals, and that's what I'm really strongly getting from this particular soulmate. And I'm feeling like this is someone who uses their head a little bit more than their heart, which can be a little bit frustrating, especially for those of us who are water signs or earth signs who tend to go more toward the heart above anything else. But this person's going to be pretty darn mature, and they're going to value honesty. Like, the King of Swords, man, Swords is all about speaking your truth and verbal communication and things of that nature. So again, it would not shock me if this person is like slightly bluntly honest to the point that other people may misconstrue them, but I don't think you will. Okay, and then we have the Star card, which I always really love this card. It's a card about healing and being ready to let go of baggage. And as we get into the rest of this, there is definitely some baggage that this person has, that they have learned to overcome, that they have healed from. This could also potentially be a sign that someone from your past is returning. And again, this could very well be someone new, but this could also be someone that you've already had dealings with, and maybe things didn't go so well the first time, and now they've healed and they've grown up and matured, that things can finally get back on track. And this is also about feeling open and ready to let love back in and not being afraid anymore because they have grown up. Now, with Death being in reverse, I'm getting that whoever this person is, they have a habit of picking the wrong type of person for them. Like, they have a habit of getting into really bad relationships. They, you know, just people who don't give back to them enough, as we can probably see in the rest of this. But I'm also really wondering if this person had a big change in their life in regard to their family, and this is in the past because death is in reverse, so that's telling me that whatever this huge uproar was in their life that completely kind of molded and changed them, it's something that happened already. Like, it's not something that's ongoing. At least in this case, it doesn't feel like it's ongoing. It feels like this is something that's already occurred, and it's already kind of transformed them, as we can see with the Star card, because they have already healed. And it feels like it's revolving around family because of this Ten of Pentacles. So this Page of Pentacles, this is some bad news coming in, and just being very frustrated because of all the challenges that they have gone through in their life. And the challenges, I believe, again, I really feel like it's something to do with their family life. Like something got really disrupted and just kind of altered the way that they viewed the world, and essentially transformed them into this strong King of Swords, and made them into this more mature type of individual that's ready and willing to take a chance on love. But it seems like they went through a lot of hardship to get to this point. It's like if someone in your family dies, and for a few years you are just not ready to get involved with anyone because you're kind of struggling to comprehend it, and things of that nature. I think that that's what this is. I don't know if someone necessarily died, but it feels like there was an uprooting of something to do with the family. It could be a job sort of a thing, like maybe they got unexpectedly fired or laid off and it kind of shifted them a bit, but this really feels like family. But something in their life collapsed, essentially. Something kind of changed for them. And then we have the Lovers card, which to me tells me that they are ready for this bond. They really want this loving connection, this deep bond between them and someone else that kind of winds them together. Because if you look closely at this particular card, you can see that the ribbons are kind of intertwining them and being pulled, and they're just, it's a cord that's attaching them, which is fine. I do think there's a note here to not become too codependent on one another. At least that's the vibe I'm kind of getting. But it seems like from going through all this potential tragedy in their life, that they have become ready and willing and open. Okay, they have an open heart to get to this point. And they are serious. They don't want to take reckless chances anymore. They've had enough of crazy encounters and, like, you know, something unexpected in their life, that they want something solid. They want some solid ground to stand on. So this person seems to have their head on their shoulders. They're very well balanced and things of that nature. I don't know how else to quite describe it, but they are, like, completely ready and open to finding their person. And again, I really think this is going to be an Aquarius. So whomever your soulmate is, may very well be an Aquarius. So we're going to go ahead and pull from the Romance Angels deck first. We're going to go ahead and shuffle really quick. Apologies for how loud this is probably going to be. Let's just go ahead and shuffle this a few times. I've already cleared the deck, so we are good to go for stack number 1. And in finding your soulmate. Now these are just going to be some additional messages. So let's go ahead and see what we can get out of here. We're going to pull about 2 from each of these decks just to see what we can get. Oh, something just tried to fall out. Okay, so codependency. It did pop out, which I'm not shocked to see that we got codependency coming out first and foremost. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite easy to potentially become codependent on this person because they are so, I don't want to say grounded, they're not necessarily grounded, but they're very stable. And I know that kind of sounds like it's the same thing, but this person is very secure in their thoughts and things like that. They're a very good communicator, they're very honest, so you might become codependent on that. So I do want, whomever you are, that this is your soulmate, please be careful on becoming too codependent on someone. I do think a little bit of codependency is slightly healthy. I'm trying to get rid of this glare. Because, I mean, you are going to be in a relationship, and you do have to depend on one another, but I don't necessarily think that needs to be crazy to where, like, you can't breathe without this person, you can't eat a meal without this person, that sort of a whole thing. But I do think you guys are gonna end up being really serious about one another. So just be on the lookout for any codependent behavior, and potentially a little bit of controlling. It won't be done maliciously, or anything like that. I think it's just because they've been through so much that they don't like the unexpected. Okay, and then we have the playfulness card, which I think kind of goes along with this. And the King of Swords always kind of strikes me as being a little more serious and kind of reserved and, you know, that type of thing. So when I see the playfulness card, this is telling me, you guys, you know, keep the magic alive. Go on fun dates, you know, laugh and play video games, have fun with one another, and don't forget about what makes you fall in love. And I actually think that playfulness may be a good bonding tool when the two of you meet. So you guys even could actually be meeting at some sort of like a weird fun activity, like, I don't know, maybe you bump into each other at the movies, which I know isn't a weird activity, but you understand what I'm saying. Something that, you know, you don't meet at a bar, or you don't meet at, I forgot to put that out. You don't meet at a club, things like that. It'll be something a little bit different. It'll be something, you'll meet somewhere more unique, and I think it may be outside. I think you may meet your soulmate outside. That's what I'm getting, potentially even at night because of the star card. Anyways, let's go ahead and get one from this deck. From the French Vintage Stamp Love Oracle. I have a little bit of a lisp, so sometimes it's hard for me to say this deck. Cards are too big for me to shuffle lengthwise, so we shuffle it this way. I have very tiny hands. So, let's see what we get here. Apologies for the squeaky table. And we're going to pull two from this for stack number 1 about your soulmate. Just any additional messages that need to come through that we need to be aware of. We got 2 of them. Okay, perfect. You guys there. That was loud. So first of all, we got Destiny Point. Okay, so again, meeting this person is going to be fate. This is your soulmate. And I'm also getting that when you do meet them, you are going to know. It's going to be kind of like that struck by lightning type of feeling. You're just going to know that this is your person. And it's going to be almost like you recognize them upon meeting them. Okay? And this card specifically says, which path will you take? Follow your soul dreams or stay in the comfort zone? So again, the comfort zone thing just kind of really struck me. Again, I think you're going to be meeting in a slightly unconventional way. Potentially outside. Or potentially at night. Or potentially all 3. That sort of thing. We also have Luminous, which is the sun. This reminds me of the sun from Tarot. This is happiness, and again, it's going to be that familiarity between the two of you. And it's just, again, this also is kind of reconfirming that I do think you're going to end up meeting outside. I'm pretty positive that for stack number 1, you are going to be meeting your soulmate outside. But this is just warmth and happiness, and something that I think this person really needs in their life because they haven't had a lot of it recently and in the past few years. So I think that this is going to be something that they are really going to be cherishing. And this card specifically says, radiance and vibrant energy shines upon you now. So this is also about good luck and, you know, actually being able to find this person and that the timing is right, more importantly. So that's going to do it for stack number 1. This is your soulmate. Seems like a pretty great person if you ask me. And again, I do think it's going to be an Aquarius. So let's go on to stack number 2. Okay, so stack number 2. We have your stack here, so let's go ahead and see what we got. Alright, we have the World card, also known as the Universe in this particular deck. The 4 of Cups. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. The Lovers. Oops. 6 of Wands in reverse, 7 of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hierophant in reverse. Okay. So much like stack number 1, your soulmate has gone through, I don't think as much, but they have gone through quite a bit. I don't think they've ever been victorious in love, but we will address that in a second. So first up, we do have the World or the Universe card in this particular deck, and for this one we are using, I'm blanking on the name, the Bohemian Wild Tarot, I think that's what it's called. I love this deck. Anyway, all the deck information will be down below, by the way. But we do have the Universe, and this is the World card in normal tarot. This is normal tarot, but this is just a different word. Anyway, so we do have the World. This person is very whole within themselves now, and the way I've kind of formatted asking in drawing the cards was that give me a snapshot of who they are now, and then also what they have been through. So this is kind of where they are now. So they are very whole with themselves, and they are ready to move forward. They have gone through quite a bit, because this is the World card, as we've already established. But that also means they have gone through this entire cycle of the major arcana to get to here. So the next step is to close out this cycle, essentially. And I'm also getting that you might be meeting this person through traveling, because the universe also reminds me of, like, you know, taking a trip and going someplace you haven't gone before and things of that nature. But most importantly, this person is very whole with themselves. You're going to find they're probably pretty darn confident. Not to an obnoxious type of point, but a little bit confident. We next have the Four of Cups. And I can't help but notice the mirror that this figure is looking into. And this is telling me that they have gone through a lot in their past. So if they look behind them, it's because of their past and things that they have gone through that they are now whole within themselves. So this was all very necessary for them. I think because they have experienced so much, it has ended up making them stronger. It's turned them into this person. But I don't even know if they recognize their own strength. That's what I'm getting from this. I don't think they realize it. I don't think they've realized just how much they have gone through. I mean, that's why we're not quite seeing it here. We are seeing a little bit of it and a little bit of a hint, but not to, like, the full extent. And but I'm also really getting that there's a regret about the past. Like, maybe regret in how something turned out, regret in what they did, their own behavior. It feels like maybe they missed an opportunity, and that's what kind of resulted in the rest of this. Like, maybe things grew stagnant, because we do have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. And this is a lack of balance, especially in regards to relationship, which it clearly is because we have the Lovers card. It was not an equal give and take type of relationship. This was the type where one person is constantly giving to the other person. They're constantly, like, the source of support and things of that nature. And then the other person just doesn't, like, reciprocate it, basically, and give back in the way that they particularly need. And I think that your soulmate was on the receiving end of this. So, that's not a good place to be. I'm also really getting, and I think this kind of goes along with this one, that they could be a little bit gullible. Which, again, not necessarily a great sign. We also have the Lovers card. And throughout most of this, I was kind of feeling a little bit of some Gemini energy. Some, like, fiery type of energy, especially since, I mean, Gemini is an air sign, but I don't know, I kind of associate them with, like, a fiery personality. So because we also have the Six of Wands here, but I'm really kind of feeling this person might be a Gemini. Specifically for this Lovers card. I don't know, that's just the vibe I'm getting. And I think that this person, your soulmate, is going to end up being incredibly loyal, and that's because of this, and of this, and of this. I don't think they've ever had true commitment in their life, actually. Because again, we're not seeing anything being reciprocated to them. And then over here, they were not victorious. They weren't successful in love. They were not successful in their last relationship. And I think whomever they were with wasn't loyal either. I'm thinking that they've been cheated on. Which also kind of brings me back to the Lovers card, because Gemini is known as, like, having, like, a dual type thing going on. So it's like they saw one version of the person that they were with, and then that person turned essentially into someone else and cheated on them. So they don't feel very successful in love. They feel like they have failed in all of that sort of thing. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. And again, this is telling me that no effort was really put in to their last relationship, and that whomever they were with, I don't think that that person wanted the relationship to grow, because no effort was put in by that other person, to the point that your soulmate stopped giving effort as well. They kind of gave up. It's like they kind of rolled over and played dead a little bit, because the relationship just wasn't growing, it wasn't flourishing, it wasn't for them. And at the time, it felt very obstructive, almost. And I think now they have realized that it was for the better, because they just weren't meant to be with that person. So they have realized that, you know, it worked out for the better. And when we see the Hierophant in reverse here, that's a lack of commitment in this past relationship. This is also telling me that they want to break free of restraints that may be holding them back, that may have held them back in the past. But I'm also strongly getting that they want to break free of the gender stereotypes. Like, I feel like traditional gender roles are not for this person. Like, you know, the whole stigma, women must cook and clean and take care of the kids, and men must go to work. I don't think they buy into all of that. I think they're like, you know what? We're just gonna do what we're gonna do, and that's gonna be fine enough for me. They feel very unique. I don't know if that's enough of a describing factor, but they feel like they kind of march to the beat of their own drum, and they kind of just want to, you know, go about life, living it and having fun and experiencing everything, and just really kind of living life to the absolute fullest. So I think that's where that's going to come in at. Let's go ahead and pull from the Romance Angels. I am going to be shuffling on camera, so I apologize for the sound. And again, the deck has already been cleared. We are just going to quickly... Ooh, that was a terrible shuffle on my part. That was so bad. But that's okay. I'm not a very good shuffler. That's okay, because we're gonna overhand it anyway. Ooh. Ooh, yep. They have an X problem. Okay, well, 2 more decided to come out, so we're gonna go with it. Go ahead and make these guys. Okay, so first things first. Release your X. So I was right. There's definitely an X issue that's happening here, in which they were cheated on. That's all I'm getting now, is that they were cheated on and they still don't know quite how to handle it in their own life. So there's definitely some tension there, but I think they have already released it, but I don't think they've released necessarily the trust issues that are still pretty present there. We also have the deception card, which again, cheating. Someone wore a mask in the relationship. They never quite saw the same side of that person. They saw a different side. Someone cheated. But I think very soon you're going to be coming into contact with this person. You're going to be meeting them pretty darn soon. Trying to like move my table away because it's like making clunking noises. But I think in the near future, within probably the next 6 to 8 months, and don't quote me on that, but I think you're going to come into contact with your soulmate here. So let's go ahead and grab some cards from the French Love Stamp Oracle. See what they got to say from here. Okay. We're going to aim for 2. Ooh. Okay. Okay, well, we got 3. So, stack number 2, yours seems to want to not behave. So, first things first, we have the reunion card. I think it's rather interesting. I don't think that you are the ex that we are discussing here. This doesn't feel like you're the ex-mate. I think maybe you dated prior to them having this cheating experience. Yeah, this feels like a little bit of an older connection, but this could also just be like when you guys meet, it's gonna feel like you've already known one another. That type of thing. We also have Snowflake Crystal, which I hesitate to use this term because it's become so mainstream lately and it's just overused, but it's this kind of a soulmate / twin flame type card. This is gonna be a really unique and special connection. You guys are going to feel this very deeply. Again, it kind of goes with this reunion card. You're going to feel like you've already known each other. And that it's like, oh, there you are. I was waiting for you. That type of reaction. And then we have the Luminous card, which feels like the sun. This is happiness. This is a blossoming relationship. This is things growing. I'm also wondering if you guys will end up meeting during the day. And I know that's very vague, but because this is the sun card, that's reminding me of. But you also could very well meet while traveling, and since this says Je t'aime on it, and granted this is a French deck, but I'm wondering if it's I don't know, something to do with languages, like maybe you are an interpreter or something like that. Could have something to do with languages when you meet. So that's it. That's it. The messages that we have for stack number 2 regarding your soulmate and who they are, what they're about, etc. So let's get going on stack number 3. Okay, so stack number 3, we are ready to get started. We have the Emperor, 2 Cups in reverse, 4 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups in reverse, the Hanged Man, 7 of Pentacles, ooh, cards are sticking out, and the Page of Wands. So, with the Emperor, this could be an Aries, and another sign pointing to Aries actually is this Page of Wands. So this could very well be an Aries or just a fire sign in general, but I'm really kind of getting Aries vibes. Your soulmate's going to probably be a little bit older than you. I don't know about how old, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be a huge age gap, like not like 30 years or anything like that, but it does feel like there's going to be an age gap between you. This person is very mature. They are very, safe and sound within themselves. They're very confident. They are going to be very stable, very practical and protective because they have been through a lot in their life. It's kind of like the Emperor's kind of gone through the ringer. The Emperor he's been every single king, and now he sits here up on his Emperor throne like, yeah, I own all of you now. So the Emperor is going to be very strong and protective, and he just gives off this like confident vibe. I mean, look at the way he's even sitting here. He has like this swagger about him. He's like, yeah, I have no worries. We do have the 2 of Cups in reverse, so it seems like for most of these stacks, a lot of them have gone through a lot in love. But we do have the 2 Cups in reverse, which is telling me that something has happened in his life or her life regarding love. I keep saying his because the Emperor came up. But the 2 of Cups in reverse, things were not always on their side. This feels like things were very imbalanced. Like this wasn't a healthy relationship, I don't think. It's almost like they didn't want to give up. And I'm saying that because we have this 4 of Pentacles, which I keep staring at. So this is telling me that in this relationship, it's like they kept holding on to something that wasn't necessarily good for them because they didn't want to give up on the relationship. But hey, good news for you, because that means they're going to be pretty darn loyal. And it's like everything kind of came crashing down. Things didn't go the way that they planned or the way that they envisioned necessarily. This wasn't the way that they wanted this relationship to end up. They didn't want it to end. And I don't say that because, they were like, oh, this person's my soulmate. No, it's because as an Emperor, and I think this person was already on their way to becoming an Emperor, they do not like defeat and they do not like to give up easily. So this person is coming off a little bit on the stubborn side, which is fine. We're all a little bit stubborn. But they kept settling for less than what they deserved because they just didn't want to admit that it was over. That type of situation. Neither one of them were happy, and then they just weren't good for one another. Especially with this being reversed, it just feels like they weren't quite a match for one another. So this person had to learn to let go. They had to learn to kind of hang in the balance and allow things to happen. They had to accept the uncomfortable feelings that they might have been feeling at this time of the breakup and things of that nature. This is also making me feel like maybe they were afraid to be single and that's why they held on for so long. But the great news is that we have the 7 of Pentacles, which is telling me that they want to put in the work. They don't want a super easy relationship, and I don't mean that in the fact that, you're gonna fight all the time. No. I don't think you're gonna fight all the time. It's that they want to build something. Your soulmate wants to actively be involved in the relationship. They really want to put in the work and to be able to, essentially earn sitting on this throne. I don't know if that makes sense, but they want to be worthy of this connection that the 2 of you will share. And again, they really want it to grow. They want it to manifest into this beautiful and strong foundation. And this is also telling me that they always persevere. They are the type of person that if you knock them down, they will get up 10 times. They're like the Captain America. So stack number 3, you got yourself a Captain America type, and that's awesome. But we also have this Page of Wands, which is like this tenacity for life. They're going to be very charismatic. They're going to be very confident in the way they hold themselves. Like, when you see this person, you're going to just be drawn to them just because that's who they are. And like, you know how in performers, stuff like that, they're looking for like the big 3, like they have to have stage presence and they have to be able to sing and do all this. They have to, you know, have what it takes, essentially. This person has the stage presence. People are just magnetically kind of drawn to them because of who they are and how they hold themselves, how they exude their personality and things like that. But they're also going to be very ready for a new adventure. Like, there's definitely a signal here that they are just ready to go. They want this to happen. They are super confident within themselves. The Page of Wands is also, this person loves to travel. So if you like traveling, this person's gonna be your person. As redundant as that sounds, but they love to travel. And again, I'm really getting Aries pretty darn strongly. This could be any fire sign, but I'm really getting Aries pretty darn, like, oof. This just is exuding Aries to me. But again, it could be Leo or Sagittarius as well. But if you like to travel, I think this person is going to be dragging you on a lot of adventures in that respect. So let's go ahead and grab the Romance Angels. Once again, we're going to be shuffling on camera. So let's see what we get here. We're going to shuffle it twice. Normally in private readings, I spend like 10 minutes shuffling each deck before pulling. And it's kind of ridiculous. It's a little bit OCD of me, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and see what we get. We're going to aim for 2. In stack number 2, we ended up getting 3 of each of these oracles. So we're just going to be aiming for 2. Okay. Universe, we just want 2. Or even just 1 at this point. That would be great. Ooh, got that guy. And this one. Okay. Ooh, it's funny. We actually got the soulmate card in a soulmate reading. I kind of love that. Oh, but first and foremost, we have to give your relationship a chance. So I'm actually getting now, when you first meet this person, you are going to be hesitant about talking to them. I think you're going to need to give them a chance. I keep hearing, don't judge a book by its cover, as cliche as that sounds, but don't judge them by the way they may come off. If they come off a little bit arrogant or cocky, try to get to know them a little bit better and see if they're different. Just trust me on this. There's more than meets the eye to this person. So they may come off a certain way, but be completely different. And this is also telling me, I think I'm slightly getting that maybe people that you know may not like them on first introduction. But again, once they get to know them, they're really, like, they're hard not to like. That's what I keep getting. They're very hard not to like. But this person is definitely your soulmate. Like, this is the person you are meant to be with. So if this is your person, just trust me, he or she is coming around. They've been through a lot, and they may act a little bit on the, arrogant side. You kind of want to slap them. But deep down, they're just a little Captain America. They're just little Steve Routers. They just want their dance, okay? So, let's go ahead and shuffle from the Vintage Stamp Love Oracle. I keep changing the name every single stack that we pull, but that's fine. Oops. It would be helpful if I could learn how to shuffle and not drop my cards everywhere, but I feel like most tarot readers drop their cards constantly. Let's go ahead, see if we can grab Chance card, which actually kind of makes sense in terms of this particular connection that I'm picking up on. Okay, yep. So again, it kind of goes with the give your relationship a chance card. Again, it's going to be your choice if you decide that this is what you want or if you want to walk away. Everything is always your choice. Yes, certain things are slated to happen in our lives, like you can't escape fate, that sort of thing. Like what is meant for you will always find a way. And in my private readings, I tend to explain it like this. Think of it as a car GPS. So say you have your route all planned out, you have it all plugged in, and you miss your exit, or you take an exit too early. Your GPS is just going to reroute you. You may not make it there by the time that you wanted to, but you still make it there in the end. And that's what's important. So think of life that way. You make your own choices, and that does shape your life. It does shape what happens to you. But what's truly meant for you, so this soulmate, will not pass you by. But don't be afraid to take a chance. Again, they may seem different on the outside than how they actually are. They're just going to be exuding a lot of confidence, which is kind of off-putting to a lot of people, myself included, because I'm just a water sign and I'm very non-confrontational. So give them a chance. Just trust me, give them a chance, you're going to want to. And then we also have the devotion card. This person always gives a lot of themselves. They give too much of themselves sometimes, and that's how they got into this kind of mess. But they're going to be devoted to you. Okay, they're in this for the long haul. They are that type of person that's like, no, I'm sticking this out. Like, if you guys have a fight, I don't think you need to be afraid of this person skipping out on you, because that's not going to happen. That sort of thing. They are going to be insanely devoted to you. But that's what we have for stack number 3. This is your soulmate, and again, it seems like an Aries pretty strongly. And again, please do not be afraid to give this person a chance. It's going to be worth it, I promise. So let's go ahead and get to stack number 4. Okay, so stack number 4, we are here with your cards. Let's go ahead. We have a King of Cups. Ooh. Seems like a water sign, my favorite. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse, Magician in reverse, Page of Cups, Page of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. So immediately what I'm getting is I think that this might be like a fire and water type of connection. At least that's kind of what I'm getting right off the bat. This might be a fire and water connection. But I do think it's going to be probably a water sign that your person is. They might have fire in their chart, but mainly be a water sign. So, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. But this person is very caring. They are going to be very in touch with their feelings. Like, they aren't afraid to feel the feels and express to you how they feel, because they're very secure in that. They are going to be very mature. I'm feeling a lot of compassion kind of coming from this card right now in particular. And they're just going to be very affectionate. So if you are the type of person that likes love letters, this is your person, because this is going to happen. They're also incredibly faithful. And I think this person's going to be pretty easygoing, because so far this is probably the lightest message that we've had in terms of their life and things like that. They have gone through some things, but I'm really getting that they are a bit on the stubborn side, which is pretty characteristic of water signs. I do think that they were hurt in the past, as have we all, but I think they're shouldering the burdens of it pretty well. I'm actually wondering if they felt powerless in the past, like either in a relationship or with their own family life. I'm wondering if they felt a little bit powerless. Such as they... Think of it as, like, I don't know what type of analogy to use, but like they could see the disaster coming and they wanted to fix it, but they couldn't. That sort of thing. And it's like... I'm trying to like get a grip of what this is feeling like. This does feel like hurt in the past, and again, I'm not sure if it's romantic or not. This could be families, could be job. Specifically with the Magicians, could be like a missed opportunity or a job. I'm thinking they may have had a partner that wasn't necessarily honest with them, and that partner tried to manipulate them, and that kind of caused a lot of tension between them. And I think there are probably a lot of walls between the two of them. Like, your soulmate put up walls, and their ex did as well. To where, like, they just couldn't get it together. They just couldn't communicate. So they might be feeling... They might have been... Blah, blah, blah. They might have been feeling a little bit cynical about love in the past. Because of everything that's gone on. But I'm also really... They just don't want to disappoint anyone. Like, they're trying so hard to be impressive. And to just find that love. They want that love so badly, I think. That's what I'm really strongly getting. They really want a relationship, like an actual connection with someone, and they just don't want to screw it up again. That's what I heard. They don't want to screw it up again. So I think they're blaming themselves, actually, which is actually making me really sad. But we do have the Page of Cups here. This means that they have emotionally matured. Okay, we have matured into the king. That's why we're kind of seeing this journey happening. Yeah, they have emotionally matured. There has been growth, and I think that growth is because of this, but also because of just who they are as a water sign. They're very adaptable. This is also telling me that they're ready for marriage, and between the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands, this person might be kind of quick to propose. Like, you hear about those stories, like, people who meet and then, like, 2 weeks later they get engaged. Your person might be one of those people. They feel like it's like they are ready for love, and they want it now. That type of situation. They just want that fairy tale. That's what this feels like. The Page of Cups really feels like that fairy tale type of thing. And then we have the Page of Wands, which is, both of these are messengers of good news, so this is very positive to see. Again, it's kind of making me feel like they're gonna rush into things, because the Wand suit is very quickly moving, but they're ready for a new adventure, and they want excitement and love. They don't want, like, a boring relationship. They want something fun that makes them feel alive, that sort of thing. And then we have this Queen of Wands. Now, this could be you, so you might be a fire sign, and I'm seeing, like, this fire and ice type of thing going on. But this person's also very optimistic, which might be why they had this growth. Because they're just naturally optimistic, they were able to kind of push past this situation and get to this point. But they're also they're fiery, and they know what they want in life, and it's like now they're finally taking control to get there. And I'm also getting that between, like, these two, life is never going to be dull with this person. Like, there's always going to be a new adventure. It's always going to be something. They're one of those people that's like, oh, I have this new idea, or hey, let's go, like, paintballing type of thing randomly at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be, like, that kind of weird relationship, but it's going to be fun. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning in love, which is what we're looking for here. And it's coming in. And this is also making me feel like they feel rejuvenated, and that they found self-love within themselves. They've learned how to like themselves again, and that's how we've seen this growth occur. Okay? This also means new opportunities, and that they are open to finding love. They want that fairy tale, and they're like, yo, let's go, let's get this. So let's go ahead and grab the Romance Angels and see what other messages that we can get. If I can get a grip on the stupid cards, that'd be great. Okay. Just keep, like, slipping and sliding everywhere. I do apologize if anyone can hear my fan in the background, but it's quite hot where I live. I live in Las Vegas, and summer here is killer. And there's, like, no amount of AC that helps sometimes. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. Okay. Okay. Wasn't expecting that card. So we have the Stay Optimistic About Your Love Life card, which, again, your person is very optimistic. And again, I'm pretty sure that's how they were able to get over the situation so quickly, is because of their positive outlook on life. So I think oh my gosh, this card is asking you to also have a positive outlook on how things are going to turn out if you're currently going through something. We also have reconciliation. So you may actually already know this person. This person may already kind of be in your energy field or in your environment. But again, this is someone from your past is returning to your life. So I actually don't feel like you've been in a relationship. You might have been, but it feels like due to everything that's kind of occurred, when you come back together, you'll reconnect better. Like, you're gonna have this, it's gonna feel like a new love, I think. And that's truly what this is. If not, then you were together in a past life, and this is you guys coming back together to kind of figure things out again. That type of situation. But yeah, I do think that for some of you, this will be someone from your past or someone that you already know in your life. But also for a chunk of you, this is probably going to be someone that you've been with in a different life. Like, you're going to see them, and there's going to be some level of recognition, but not complete, because there's a little bit of a fog when you have past lives. Let's go ahead. Let's see what we got going. At least for me with past lives, it's like foggy. Anyway, let's go ahead, dive into the French Vintage Love Stamp Oracle. Let's see what we can pull from here. Okay. Ooh, half the deck just almost wanted to fall out of my hands. Oh goodness, that fell on the floor. We will grab him in a second. So if the second card could come out, that'd be great. Okay, more just flew on the floor, so these are coming out very violently tonight. Okay, now that we've returned up to the table, so the first card out we had was Freedom. Again, this kind of reminds me of what's gone on here. They had to release themselves from this tension. They had to release themselves from whatever was holding them back. And again, they're very open to love, and that's what kind of this is reminding me of, is that freedom, that opportunity to experience love and to grow in it. We also have Rendezvous. I don't know if masquerades are still held, but I'm getting a lot of masquerade vibes. Also the faith thing, you could meet at a church if that's your thing. And this card says, have faith and believe a meeting between you two will take place. So I think it's going to be a chance encounter. Like, I don't see anyone introducing you. I think you're just going to meet. And there's going to be, like, that soul recognition. And then, like, they're going to immediately be like, hey, you want to go out? You want to hang out? And stuff like that. I keep feeling like beach. I don't know why. Maybe because of the King of Cups and I'm thinking beach. But we also have the Promise card. Which says, all dreams are possible with this love. This kind of reminds me of like Cinderella. But again, this is like a fairy tale. And that's what they want. We saw that in like the Page of Cups here. They really want that fairy tale. They want that happily ever after. And this person is definitely going to be giving you that happily ever after. So if this is your soulmate, and this is something that you want, then good news for you. Because like, this is going to be fantastic, and it's going to feel like a dream come true, but it's not going to be one of those, oh, it's too good to be true things. It's not going to be that. It's going to be actual reality. So that's what we have for group number 4. We're going to go ahead and get started with group number 5 now. Okay, so finally, stack number 5. Let's go ahead and get these cards, and I know I actually pulled more in this one. So might need a little bit of extra room. I think I pulled like 1 extra card for you guys. Let's go ahead and get those out of the way. Alright, we have the 2 of Cups, the King of Cups, 6 of Swords, 5 of Swords, Page of Swords. Let's kind of smush these down. It's a little bit of a glare, and I do apologize. And also of how unorganized this is. Let's just go ahead and put that guy right there. Okay, so first up we have the 2 of Cups. Actually no, not first up. King of Cups and the 2 of Cups. This is probably going to be another water sign. We're having a lot of water sign energy in this like entire reading. This is probably a water sign. I'm kind of feeling a little bit of a Pisces vibe just because I keep looking at the fish. But Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, this feels like a water sign. So this person, they're looking for a deep and loving bond. They're looking for this like fairy tale Prince Eric and Ariel type moment off the boat. They want something that's deep. Because if you notice, the mermaid is in the water, and water represents depth and feelings and emotions, and they're both drinking out of one another's cup. They want to be like, I keep feeling like they just want to be completely enroped in you. It's like they just want this bond to feel so deep and passionate and so loving. And they feel things very, very deeply. Which goes along with this King of Cups. Because the King of Cups, as we know, feels things very deeply. He is, you know, and this could be a female. I mean, energy is energy, but I'm just saying he because it's the King of Cups. Very caring, very in touch with feelings. This person's gonna be pretty, like, fatherly feeling. Like, they're probably, like, destined to be a family type of person. That feels like what they might want, but they're just going to be very loyal. Okay, so again, I really do feel like this is probably a water sign. And he's holding the Ace of Cups, so I do think that this person wants to find love. I don't know if they're quite ready, judging by what's gone on in their past. We do have the Six of Swords, so this tells me you could be meeting this person online. You could meet them while traveling, or, like, while they are traveling and then you meet them. Like, say if they travel to your city or whatever, and that's when you meet. But this feels like a bit of a long distance type of thing that could be coming around. But this is also telling me that A, they're a good communicator. Okay, so they're very good with their words and speaking and conveying their feelings. But I think they've gotten away from, like, the chaos and disruption in their life. And now they are healing and are moving forward with their life. So I feel like these three are kind of where your person is presently at, and wanting to find this connection and moving away kind of from the bowl of their life. Let's go ahead and move this guy over here. We have a little bit more room now. We also have the Five of Swords, which I'm going to touch on a slightly touchy subject. Between the Five of Swords, the Page of Swords in reverse, and the Knight of Pentacles. Like, this combination in particular, and even this one and this one, this feels like they may have been involved with someone who took advantage of them, who played mind games with them. I'm getting... I hesitate to say it, but I think I'm getting a bit of, like, an emotional abuse situation where their partner or a family member even just was not being kind. They were hurting this person for the sake of hurting them. So they have been through quite a bit. And it's like, this little penguin's, like, looking at her like, hey, I'm sorry, I'll help you. So I think they had to learn kind of how to reassure themselves, actually. But again, this feels like it was a very toxic relationship. Whether this be family or an actual relationship, it was toxic. This was a very toxic environment for your soulmate. And to see them moving out of it, especially because we have all these swords, like, they went through a lot. And it's taken a lot for them to heal and to get to the point where they're at, to be open to love again. You might end up finding them be a little bit guarded, though, because of this. Like, I'm getting... Yes, they're open to it, but they're going to be guarded. But we do have the Page of Swords in reverse, and this is a lack of honesty. This is being lied to, and, you know, things spread about them, and they didn't speak up about it. So, and that's what's leading me to believe that there may have been something going on that was toxic, that just wasn't healthy. But they didn't... Your soulmate didn't speak up about it. They kind of just kept it to themselves. They kept it quiet because they didn't want anyone to know. I think they were ashamed, actually. Which is kind of what I'm getting with some of these other ones. I think they were ashamed of things, especially with the Judgment card in reverse. It feels like they're even questioning themselves and what happened. But we also have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. They were left feeling pretty broken. They didn't know which direction to go in. Again, I'm trying to get a grip of how this is... It's feeling very restrictive and kind of suffocating a little bit. I think they felt hopeless. Like there was nothing more for them left. That they had no choice, but to get out of this, to get as far away as quickly as possible, rather. And go off and heal, because it was very unstable, which may have left your soulmate feeling rather impatient. So they may be getting impatient about finding someone who doesn't treat them this way. I'm also getting the idea that your soulmate might be a little bit scatterbrained. Like, you know, they might think about something and then start talking about something else, which is definitely a Pisces characteristic. Actually, it's a water sign characteristic in general, but I feel like they kind of get distracted easily, and maybe that actually annoyed that person, but I think you are going to be finding it pretty darn charming. And then we have the Five of Wands over here, also in reverse. The Five of Wands in reverse, this is like the start of that healing process from that Six of Swords, of getting away from that unhealthy and toxic relationship. This is about getting out of this environment. Okay, this is about escaping. This is the end of the conflict. And I think because of all this, your soulmate has a fear of confrontation. They're not a fan of it. They don't want to be involved in it. They don't like fighting. So if you guys do have fights, it's going to be something small and they will apologize. That sort of situation. We also have the Judgment card in reverse. They still judge themselves very harshly. So if you end up noticing a lot of negative self-talk or self-doubt, or them blaming themselves for what went wrong, that sort of thing, it's because of this. They are still actively blaming themselves. And they're still learning from their past. They're still learning that, okay, this wasn't necessarily my fault. None of this was my fault. But it's like they're struggling coming to grips with that, if that makes sense. But this definitely feels like a water sign. So let's go ahead and grab some Romance Angels cards. And hopefully my cards will not fly off the table like they just did with group number 4. Because that was not enjoyable for me. Let's go ahead and see what we get here. Swap two cards. Aw, that card seems appropriate actually. Ooh. Oh, okay. So, first up, we have the Worth Waiting For card. I feel like this was both ways. I feel like you're both gonna feel like you waited a long time for each other, but it's going to be worth it. So when you do finally come together, when you do finally meet, it's going to be worth it because it's like you guys couldn't have met previously because you hadn't learned the lessons that you were supposed to, and now that you have, and now that they have and they're healing, you can. That type of thing. This is also telling me that it might take a little bit more time. You may need to have some patience, which I know is like the feminine's like least favorite word ever, but you may need to have a little bit more patience. For let your friends help you, I think you're gonna end up meeting through your friends. I think you're gonna be introduced to this person. Or again, if you do meet online, it's kind of going through something else. There's something that's gonna be like between you, and that's how you meet. So like either through a friend, through a dating app, or a video game, something is going to be like playing like the medium there and get you to where you need to go. So let's go ahead and pull from the Love Stamp Oracle. These are the cards that just flew off my desk too. And it was not nice of them. Let's see what we get to. Well, that was just like a giant clump of cards. We don't take those here. Ooh, that's a good card to see. Actually, I'm kind of picking up that for those of you who picked this stack, you've been through a lot too. So this is going to be a welcome new chapter for you as well. You may even be hesitant to, I'm going to pull one more. I feel like I need one more. You may even be hesitant to take the next step. If I could grab the card. Nope, okay. I had a bunch of them just like flip over in my hand and it was very annoying. Okay, well, I guess 2 more want to come out. So you guys thinking 4. Okay, so we have new chapter coming out. And again, I do feel like for those of you who picked this, you guys have been through a lot as well. And this is going to be like a breath of fresh air. Like you're finally going to feel as though you can take a gulp without it being painful. And it's going to feel very exciting and new and just like, yes, this is what I've waited for. This is so much easier than my last relationship, or this is, not what I thought it would be like, but what I've always wanted, that type of thing. And this is a new chapter in your book of love is calling you for a fresh start, which is really great to see. We also have celebration. So I'm kind of, you could meet this person at a party. Or something like that. Again, I'm getting like a gathering type of a feeling, or or your friends, rather, that type of thing. But this is gonna be a cause for celebration. Like, I think you guys are gonna really enjoy each other's company. Soon you'll be celebrating wonderful news with your love. This is a great omen to see. We also have Luminous, which we've seen in, like, I think 3 of the readings this entire video. But this is the sun. This is the start of a new relationship. This is happiness. This is joy, and just like that warm feeling of being in love that you guys are going to want to celebrate. Celebration also reminds me of anniversary, so I do think it will last long. It's going to be like a long relationship. And we also have Promise, which again reminds me of Cinderella. This is a happily ever after card. So everything is possible with your soulmate. You just may need to give them a little bit more time for them to get there, but we do have a lot of signs of like fairy tale type love going on. And I do think that they want that. They just have been through a lot in their own love life or family life. Whatever happened in this situation, it was something pretty bad. And it's taken them a lot to get to this point where they're okay with wanting to find love, and they do want a genuine connection. But it's going to be a little bit of a wait, so please try to have patience. If you've already met this person, have patience with them and what they're going through. That sort of thing. But that's going to do it for group number 5. So let's go ahead and get to the end of the video, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that concludes the pick a card for today, for finding your soulmate, for who your soulmate's gonna be, what they're gonna be like, what they've gone through, you know, just really kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of who they are as a person and what they're feeling, what they're ready for, and that sort of thing. I hope you all enjoyed this. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you did. I will be listing all the decks I used in the description down below, so be sure to check that guy out. And yeah, please also check out my Instagram. I do offer personal and private readings, but as of next week on the 18th of August, I will no longer be accepting requests for new readings because I will be going on a little bit of a hiatus for private readings for a little bit, because my significant other is coming into town, so I'm going to be spending time with them because I haven't gotten to see him since March. But yes, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped some of you. I hope this gave some of you clarity. Please let me know which one you picked. Let me know how it resonates with you and all that fun stuff. And thank you guys so much. Please be safe out there.